Welcome back, Cherry Arena. Ben Whiteside, joined by Rob Fleming for what will be set to be the consolation final matchup here in San Sebastian, Spain. And heck of an afternoon we got coming up here, Rob. We're going to start with the bronze medal game here between Finland and the Midwest Selects, and I know you got this one queued up for us.
Yeah, we'll see if the Finns only an hour ago, a devastating loss to the Czechs as they just had a tough time of mounting anything offensive in the last couple minutes of the game, and the Czechs had stormed all the way back from a 2-1 lead. Man, it has been a heck of a tournament for these Finns. Thought they were going to come in here and take it all the way to the finals, the second seed after the preliminary round, and now just playing for the bronze. And just hardware on the line, but more than that, a lot of pride. And both teams not going to roll over. This is their last game here that they will play in San Sebastian, and a heck of a tournament from both teams. And a good run. And there's a lot of talent through both of these lineups here this afternoon. And right after this one, it'll be 3 o'clock local time that the Czech Knights will take on the East Coast Selects, and it'll be all eyes on that gold medal game. Grudge match, as those two teams played earlier in the preliminary round, and they're going to get to go right back at it. And the biggest trophy of all, you can see it just sitting right down there, only feet in front of us. And man, we got a chance to look at it all morning. The other teams, they've seen it. Of course, nobody picking it up, as you don't want to put your hands on it prior to that all-encompassing W that, as you said, Ben, will be on the line at 3 o'clock here. And yeah, those two teams, it is going to be an all-out battle between them, as now we'll just have to focus in on the bronze medal game.
Behind the net, this Midwest team, Hilton, will hand it back to Bray, and they'll go to work. This Midwest team, an in-your-face kind of offensive flying style, as the Finns going to work it into that zone. Midwest able to pick it off. Back to the point. Greikus shooting, and a good stop there, as we will see a start from Ronnie Hervila, the Espoo, Finland native.
Yeah, and at the other end, it's going to be Daniel Piccolo who will get the start. He's only had 2 shots in the entire medal round. I mean, to his credit, he's saved both of them, but not a big sample size, as now he will get the start. As Annalise Bergman, 33 save effort this morning, as her team was down by a talented East Coast squad. So Piccolo in to mine the net for Midwest.
As we're going to see a face-off come just outside the zone, and it'll be Midwest that's looking to set the tone early. Won by the Finns. It'll be the captain, McGuire, almost forcing a bit of a turnover there. Good stop by Piccolo. In the corner battling, change is coming to this Finnish bench. And right out in front, shooting, hits the basket, Piccolo, they score! Off a rebound. And a nice finish there by Emil Kusla, who had a great game in this morning's matchup as well.
Yeah, Kusla, the leading scorer for the Finns in the preliminary round, had 15 points. And there you see, just shot off the bucket there of Piccolo, as Kusla just on the backhand, tucking it in far side. And the Finns right on the board early here as Midwest back on their heels.
Goal for Team Finland, scored by number 25, Emil
Vonk playing catch with his defensive partner. Hilton gives it to Vonk down low. They will work it around. Burchill, he's in there pressuring hard as well. Good job to keep it in at the line. Bellinger in there to help. Hilton picks that pass off. Back to the point, shooting. That shot coming from Vonk goes low and wide. Vonk hands it up to Hilton. That'll get sent the length of the ice. Having to hustle back as Bilkis, as he was greeted hard there by Elo. Vonk, or Ziski, excuse me, picks up a stretch pass. He lets that shot go.
Not able to bury a single goal this morning. Midwest, first time they were shut out in the entire tournament. Just looking to find their way back onto the score sheet. The likes of Powell, who had 5 goals in the first couple medal games, just wanting to find the back of the net as he had his tournament-long point streak snapped this morning, as was the likes of Hilton, who had also had a strong showing. Picked up a couple assists in the earlier medal games, but nonetheless, he will also try to find his way back onto the score sheet.
So, I mean, you've covered this Finnish team quite a bit, and they got a lot of depth. And, I mean, you had a chance to follow them and spend some time traveling with the team over in France, and you've gotten to know this Finnish bench very well. What impresses you most about kind of how they roll?
Well, a couple things certainly spring to mind. Is number one, they treat it as if it's a professional squad. They've got a 4-man coaching staff all the way down to a team doctor, so it is very organized, and they certainly a little bit disappointed from the effort this morning, as they thought this team was going to take it all the way to the house. But nonetheless, they've got a couple other quality attributes. They skate extremely well, a couple high talents, starting, of course, with the captain, number 11, Aram Kiviharju. He is just a pleasure to watch, and such a shifty player. You don't see them shorten the bench too often either, as a ton of depth down this squad.
And I mean, you look at Sean Hunwick's Midwest team, and they had almost kind of this fairy tale run going. We didn't think we'd see somebody stop it. We knew it would be a heck of a matchup this morning with East Coast, but penalty coming, a delayed penalty coming, that is, to this Midwest team. Excuse me, as thought it was a tripping call right behind the play. It was just the delayed offside call, as Midwest able to make that change, and they're just trying to get it out of harm's way in their own end. Right in front of the net. Rebound, they score! Again, this time coming off the stick of Nurmi. And the Finns are up 2 within the opening 5 minutes and 45 seconds of this hockey game. You see that just come out in front, and a lack of coverage in front of the Midwest net, which has been an ongoing theme. And Rob?
Yeah, Nurmi had 9 goals in the preliminary round, good enough for 15 points, and then he had transitioned well into the likes of the medal round, a couple goals, couple assists, but again, that train stopped this morning, as now he'll pick up what's going to be his 3rd goal of the medal round and 12th of the tournament in its entirety. So, man, he has just had an offensive explosion this week, and you got to think that's going to continue this afternoon.
Jan Varaya sent flying in the corner, and then a face-off will come just outside the Midwest zone. Hilton going to come in to take this draw against Lebanon. Won by the Finns. They go D to D, moving it up through center. able to keep it in the zone. They'll try and get after it as Letiseri. So that puck will jump out of play, and we'll have another face-off just inside the Midwest zone.
Yeah, Midwest, they've had a difficult time generating offense all day long. We saw they only had, 8 shots in the earlier game, and it's really kind of transitioned here as they've only seen play north of the red line for maybe a couple minutes maximum. But nonetheless, I should bite my tongue as here comes Hilton in shooting. That was sent aside there by Elo as he had come back to get a stick on that.
Yeah, and a nice shot at that. Just missed as he had low corner picked out. And coming the other way. Battle for it in the corner is Hilton, able to come away with it. Sends it back to Bilkis. He shoots that one. That's just wide. Ziski now. Throwing it right out to Hilton, who got a stick on it, but it just went wide. Dump the length of the ice. In to get it is the Finns, although Vonk makes a good play there. This defensive core, so much skill on the Midwest team, but a lot of the goals that we've seen from this tournament have come right in out front of the crease, and just sometimes a bit of a lack of coverage. Have we seen already the 2 finished goals come just off rebounds right in front of that Midwest net, and a couple guys left open.
Just an attention to detail is Midwest. Obviously, we know they're extremely talented on the offensive side of the puck. Sometimes, though, just struggling to pick up, as you said, those bodies in front of the net. Needing to be stick on stick the entire game, especially against these Finns who do such a great job of tracking pucks. Is spinning and firing there was Lepa. Even better save from Piccolo. And again, you're right, Ben, just leaving those players out in the danger zone and kind of hanging their goaltenders out to dry.
Still battling are the Finns, able to try and throw it out. They can't get it right in front. Waddick, he's hit hard in the corner, and these Finns doing a good job of keeping the cycle going. Oh, another nice hit from Waddick. And a delayed penalty coming as that Finnish goaltender going to head right to the bench. Hervella, and Midwest just going to have to touch up. Hard hit from Waddick again. And I believe it'll be him that got the penalty on the earlier play. Is sent out in front. The Finns still with it. Peltonen sends it across. Finally touched up. So Waddick will go for a charging call. He will go sit for 2. The Chatham-Kent, Ontario native.
Been pretty good at controlling his emotions for the majority of the tournament. There you saw just maybe getting a little bit frustrated with his team's lack of ability to generate offense, and yeah, he'll take a trip to the box, and rightly so, as he had come from a good distance away to make that hit. And his team, they will go to the penalty kill.
They've been very effective. Waddick been a big part of that penalty kill that's been really good for this Midwest team. So the Finns going to work it inside. Back to the point. Another shot. Piccolo with a nice save. Works it in right at the slot. Shooting, and a nice save again. Back to the point. McGuire out there pressuring hard. They go D to D. Ali Shira Shooting, just missed the outside of the goal. 45 seconds remaining in this power play. Alipira shooting, loose in front of the net. That will get to center. Couple slashes behind the play. Inside the zone once again are the Finns. Throwing it back door, and a nice shot there coming right off the stick of Nurmi and covered up by Piccolo.
The atmosphere here, Ben, just a little bit depleted from what it was earlier, as the Finns going toe-to-toe with the Czech cheering squad, but you can see obviously they're just a little defeated as that just about find its way in. Kivi Harju again on that big shot. But yeah, just a little bit of wind out of their sails here as this Finnish squad, as they were down in an absolute thriller earlier. We'll see whether it transitions into some emotional issues, but nonetheless, they've done a pretty good job in the early goings here. A lot of sustained pressure, and Midwest is going to have to be careful. You can't give these Finns time and space, as they will certainly make you pay. Now it's going to be Lepa. He's going to take a trip to the box, go off on the rough in front of the net, as his team will take to their first penalty kill of the afternoon.
Going the length of the ice, the Finns chasing after it. It'll be Chappelle back to get it. Here they go, Waddick. He's out of the box and back out. Coming in with some speed. He will cycle it around, still with it. Back to Jan Varaya. He walks the line, finds Waddick. He's able to pick it up. Back to Jan Varaya, shooting. Right out to him again, shooting again! Tipped in front, as I believe it was Burchell that got a stick on it. It was actually Bellinger that got the tip. So here they go, working it around. Waddick loose in front. Just about got it to the back of the net. Still a minute to go in this Finnish penalty. So with that, a whistle as the puck goes out of play, and faceoff will remain just to the right of Ronnie Hervella. So we'll see if Midwest can take advantage of the last 40 seconds they have on this power play. Vonk over to Hilton. Picked off by the captain, and they are going the other way. Kivigerio. Back door. Feeding in front. They score. What a give and go feed as the Finns are now up 3. That's a shorthanded goal.
And that hurts if you're Midwest, as it goes from bad to worse here. Beautiful play, though, as when Salo had found Alcieria parked right out in front of the net, as they had both gone hard in. Midwest, it's just been a difficult morning. They're not used to this kind of, I would say, skating ability from the opposition, and they've had a tough time, especially on the rush, as their defense has been tested a lot, and unfortunately hasn't stood up to the task, as they have been broken now a combination of 8 times this morning.
Offside call will bring the face-off right in front of the Finnish bench. In to take the draw. Heinen. and he wins it. Finns moving up ice. They get as far as center, and they'll pick it up again. Out of the box comes Leppa. We're back to even strength. Just under 7 minutes to go in this first period. Commanding 3-goal lead. Twisting and turning behind the net was Peltonen. He moves it up ice. They get as far as center before Brays picked it up on the turnover. McGuire pressuring in there with Januszkowski hard. And a good rush. That was Strawback coming in, shooting! What a finish by Leppa! Far down, as this is getting ugly. Finland up 4.
Yeah, you see just right back to the forehand there, and a beautiful bar down finish from Tom Leppa. He had a hattie yesterday against the Latvians. Picked up another assist this morning in the effort against the Czechs, and keeps on rolling here with that beautiful finish right up and over the shoulder of Piccolo. Is wow, what a finish from Tom Leppa.
So keep in mind that in this tournament with WSI, if there is a 5-goal differential between both teams, the clock will run. So Finland, I'm sure that they would love to shorten up this game if possible, as Waddick getting a little shoving match there with the likes of Emil Kusla, so the Helsinki, Finland native.
Yeah, Kusla was going at it this morning with a couple players on that Czech side, and right back to it. Loves to play with a chip on his shoulder. Also a very talented goal scorer. You can see he's been taken a little bit off of his game. Not a single point yet in the medal round. Had 15 though in 5 games of preliminary play, and yeah, just a little bit off his game here, Ben. Actually, excuse me, he did have a goal earlier in the game, so we'll have one in this medal round, but nonetheless, just a little bit shaken here as him and Waddick will go right after each other, and I would have thought that may have been established a little earlier on, as both teams, the emotions toned back a bit, but still liking to play this physical game, and you can see now that's going to heat up here this afternoon.
4-on-4 for the next minute 35, as we're under 5 minutes away from the closing bell in this first period. As that puck jumps out of play, a face-off will remain inside that Midwest zone.
Lots of skating room out there for both squads, specifically the Finns. You see on this bigger ice, as the ice in Biarritz, France, is just a fraction of the pad here in San Sebastian, so a little more room for these Finns to move, and if you give them any sort of opportunity with time and space, they will most definitely make you pay, as we've already seen 4 times in this game.
Vonk. Centering pass doesn't get through. As Powell hammers his own guy, as Vonk gonna change. He went in awkwardly to the boards. Finns looking backdoor, and another call coming to this Midwest team, and maybe the parade to the box theme is back.
Yeah, potentially, and along the wall there.
It was Powell that came to hit a huge hit, and he ended up getting Vonk. So a face-off will come back inside the zone, and Midwest going to be down 4-on-3 here.
Yeah, and unfortunately you saw Vonk, after he was buried by his own guy, just tried to pop up, but was certainly in a lot of pain. Is still, he's laboring on the bench. You never like to see it, as he was, man, another big hit along the wall as Januszkowski went in. But as I said, you never like to see it, and especially when a guy cranks his own guy like that, it's even more difficult to take the hit. As you see, Bach got up, kind of gives a little what for, but nonetheless, I think he's standing up now, and yes, he is. I thought he was going to be a little concussed, as he had a difficult time going to the bench.
Kusla out of the box along with Waddick, so it'll just be a 5-on-4 now for the next minute. Waddick picks it up, and he's got fresh legs out of the penalty box. You can bet him and Kusla are trying to get after it as Waddick. The feud continues with him and Kusla.
Yeah, it's about to heat up in terms of physical play, that is for sure. You can see just right on the edge here, both teams trying to toe the line, but it is really taken over, as you saw Kusla and Waddick again going after it just as they exit the penalty box, back and forth, and each team getting in a jab there.
Face off just to the right of Hervella. As the Finns across center. Just under 2.5 to go now. Hilton tries to strip that Finnish defender of the puck. Can't do it. Here they come again. The Finns working it around the outside. Back to the point. Shooting right on. A nice save by Piccolo.
Big blast from the point. Strebach, we saw it all morning. Love to get that puck to the point to him, and you see there the pass from El Sierra, and wow, that is a big league shot from Strebach. No traffic in front though, so easy save for goaltender Piccolo right into the breadbasket. As now the Finns will press again.
Hilton. Lob pass for Powell. Just a touch ahead of his stick, and it was delayed offside. Bellinger. He'll dump it in. Jan Varaya heading to the bench, and 2 Finns going to the bench as well. Powell streaking in. He won't get a final touch on it. So now under a minute and a half. The other way. Here come the Finns. Working it around down low in the offensive zone. Elo. Right in. Come the Finns. Shooting all alone in front. A good opportunity. Finns in total control in the offensive zone right now.
Well, you can see Midwest just searching for the big hit. Not even really playing the puck on some chances, as I would think this one's about to turn into a little bit of a bloodbath.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see if both teams can keep their head or not. Both benches have players that certainly aren't afraid to get into it and mix it a little bit, bring the physical element in. But that is up to the responsibility of the coaching staff, too, to keep the heads on each bench. So, of course, the emotions are going to run high as Powell lays out Lepa. Back to the point. Shooting right on tip. They score.
And that one hurts, as only 6 seconds left to go in the first 20-minute frame, as those late period goals, just a dagger here, and I believe it's now going to be run time, Ben?
Yeah, it will be.
Yep. So 5-0 in this first period. This is really getting ugly here. That'll do it for the first period as this Finnish team up 5 on the Midwest selection. We will have second and final period action here in the bronze medal game on Legacy TV. Rob Fleming will open up the second right after this. Welcome back, Legacy TV live coverage. Bronze medal, Rob Fleming, over to you.
Thanks, Ben. And and what a first period it was. Is now the clock will run. Up 5 goals is this Finnish squad. Goals from Kuzla, Heinonen, Lepa, Nurmi, and Alsteria, the usual customers, all back on the board. And each one of them also found the sheet yesterday, with the exception of Kuzla, as he tracked down his first goal and point of the medal round. 15-8 in shots that period. So Midwest mounting a little bit of an offensive, as 8 shots, that's nothing to laugh at, as they're pressing and looking to at least notch a couple before the end of this game.
Well, the big priority for them is they want to get a goal quickly so they can cut this 5-goal margin down to at least 4. That way the clock will stop running continuously for them. Up through center, Hilton handing it off to that defensive core is Greikus. They'll turn that one over at center. As an offside. And this face-off will come just outside of the Midwest zone. And so Piccolo getting the start still. And on the other end, same story. It'll be Ronnie Hervella in goal. Ronnie's been perfect so far.
Saw near the tail end of that first period, the physical play really starting to heat up. A battle going on between Kuzla and Waddick. That one was just one of many battles going on between the Finns and this Midwest team. They both know how to lay the body and expect just one big hit to spark the onslaught here, as these teams, they love to go at it in that sense.
The Finns battling just outside their own blue line, and they'll take their time regrouping as they'll get a full forward line change out there. Elo. Streaking in as Heining. He's tied up on the wall. Ziski in there picks out the loose puck, and that'll get all the way back to just about the Finnish blue line. As we creep just about over the 3-minute mark into this second and final period. Blyer, he's with Burchill. Trying to get it back toward him. He couldn't. Blyer been flying around all game, excuse me. The captain for the Finns. He will work it up. Elo there to grab it. Burchill. Giveaway and a breakaway. Coming in, 5-hole attempt. Great stop by Piccolo. That was Kusla that was in alone.
Yeah, unfortunately we won't be able to get a replay here, but Kuzla tried to go 5-hole as Piccolo. Good read by him as he tried to slide that, or excuse me, he tried to slide from his left to his right as Kuzla, again, looking for his second of the game.
Hard hit on Powell as Kusla Has he ever brought the grittiness coming in, and him and Waddick again.
Right back to it.
Yeah.
Dancing partners.
Two good buddies just hanging out. So no penalties on the play, I believe. And will remain 5-on-5.
There you go, Benny. Waddick. Not only can he chuck the knucks, he can also score, as he found himself in alone on Hervela. And we'll have a look there. Just bam, upstairs. Hervela, no answer. Beautiful goal there from Waddick. He's going to cut back into this 5-0 lead as he'll get his team on the board for the first time all day long. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see whether Midwest can come back.
And a beautiful finish by Waddick. He did find himself going right upstairs, and it totally fooled Hervela. And he will add another goal to his tournament tally. Shooting, and right on the other side they score. And they give it right back to them, as that was the likes of Kakinen. And just beats Piccolo low and under the blocker.
6 goals, all from different goal scorers now the Finns have. Is that's got to be deflating for Midwest as they finally put one up on the board, but the Finns storm right back and restore their 5-goal lead. Now Sierra winning that draw for the Finns as now Straybach back to play it in behind. There's a big hit again along the wall from Bellinger. Now the Finns again breaking it out. Elo, he will get it through center to Heinonen. Elo shot right on Piccolo, gloving that one down, as then we will now get a face-off just to the right of Piccolo.
Yeah, and this Finns team just looking to keep up the offensive zone pressure at this point. You got them in the driver's seat. You just want to keep it clean if you're the Finns, and this Midwest team, no doubt, agitated. Bray trying to shake off the likes of that finish forecheck, and Rob, you are right. The runtime will pick up with this 5-goal differential after the 10-minute mark. The Finns back to the point. Oh man, was that ever a bullet right off the iron? It was Strawback. Can that kid ever shoot the puck? He's got that long left stick, and he loves the one-timers, and queued right up. They score again. This time it was Santeri Elo. This Midwest bench, all kinds of deflated right now. Just see it in the body language. And how could you not be? You lose a heartbreaker this morning, the East Coast, and you kind of come into this one. You want to win, obviously, just because you play the game the right way, but you get down 7-1, Rob Fleming. It's tough to stay motivated.
Tough hill to climb, that is for sure. As now, as you said, Ben, 7-1. Still, the Finns maintaining that sort of. Well, you gotta think it's encouraging that 7 goals, 7 different players contributing on the score sheet is pretty impressive. That these Finns have been able to do so. They certainly love to score in bunches. As I said in the last game, the Finns 3 games prior to this, 10 goals or more. As Kivi Harju rifles that one off the bar. He hasn't picked up a goal yet, but still looking, and another one. That was the likes of Ronnie Pillinen. He had gotten the pass from the captain and blasted it home past Daniel Piccolo.
8-1. Did you see this coming?
Definitely not, as you would have thought Midwest would at least bring a little more jam into this game, but yeah, you can see they were certainly deflated by that 6-1 goal, as they thought the goal from Waddick would maybe give them a little bit of a pump, but now the Finns have just come back with even more. And Ben, I don't really know if you do or what you do if you're West Coast. I guess you just kind of got to cling to life and stop the bleeding.
You know what? It's a good test of character now if you're Midwest. Just to see, you want to see who has respect for the game of hockey. You just look up and down the Midwest bench and watch who's playing every shift full out. Because it's hard to stick with it mentally in a game like this. But you know what? You got enough respect for the game. You play it hard, right to every whistle. And as so many of these kids do, Januszkowski! Nice finish as he goes bar down on a rush. Good shift, kid. Take it with you.
Yeah, beautiful shot there from Januszkowski as he's just in on the rush. You see Straybach trying to commit to that and get a stick in the way, but just rips that up and over the right shoulder of goaltender Hervela.
Goal for Team Midwest, scored by number 88, Zach Januszkowski, assistance by number 65, Luke Chafe, and number 97, Brandon Field.
Here they go.
Score Finland 8, Midwest 2.
Shooting, and Piccolo able to make a nice stop. As a shot right on, and a high sticking call going to come, which will bring the face-off just outside that Midwest zone. A nice little opportunity there, and you can see the high sticking call right at the end of the play.
So Alceria winning that drawback for the Finns. Now Kivi Harju will break it out. Elo with it in, stick handling to the middle of the ice, tried to go backhand, but all the way back had come Jan Viaria, and now East Coast trying to mount some sort of offensive here, Ben. And if you're down 8-2, what's the question? And I mean, how do you you got still 11:50 left to go in this game. You don't want to bow down, but that is a very tall task to bury 7 goals, especially on these Finns with the time remaining.
You know, you just got to stick and hang it out with your line. You got to stick together. You got to have all 3 guys going and get pucks deep. Nobody's going to beat this Finnish team individually. And you know what? Perfect example of this McGuire, Powell, and Waddick line. You just got to be able to buy in and keep plugging away down low. In the corner, the Finns just trying to rim it around. They will get to the half wall before throwing it right up ice. And that pass right in alone. Backhander is the open goal. Piccolo was down.
That was Tom Lepa again looking for his second of the afternoon. Has already picked up a hat trick in this tournament and wanting to go back-to-back multiple goal efforts as we'll look at it again. Lepa going to the backhand, but poked away by the legs of Piccolo. And not able to find it on the backhand. There was Lepa.
They work it around the point. Throwing it in front. Couldn't get the shot off. There was Letizari, the captain, letting that go. Tipped in front. That just went wide. It hit the stick of Exalio in front of the net.
I am still amazed at the way Kivi Harju just finds the smallest little holes to feed pucks through, as that one just, I believe,
hit the bar.
Caught the bar. I thought it was the right shoulder there of Hervela, but you've got a better view than I do, Ben, that's for sure.
Up ice, Greikus. Hilton. He'll lose that one as Levanon finds Vitalo. Saucer pass right in front. Backhander right across the goal crease. A wraparound. They score. Piccolo looked like he had it covered, but it was still loose. And this Finnish team adds to their tally. It is now a runaway game.
Yeah, Latolo gets 6-7 whacks in there before a single Midwest defender finds their way back, and Piccolo trying to jam it up against the side of the net, but no luck as Latolo will notch his first medal round goal. He had 7 in the prelims, an assist yesterday, but not anything to show on the goal standpoint. But there you go, first one of the tournament.
9:11 to go. Penalty coming to this Midwest team if they haven't had a tough enough afternoon. So going to the box is Ziski. He just almost is laughing.
What else can you do at this point? You just got to try to take a positive attitude into these final 8 or so minutes. And yeah, unfortunately this is the end of your tournament, and it's gonna not end the way you wanted it to, but just take the positives out of it. You had a pretty good week with the exception of a couple games and made it all the way to the bronze medal game, so just got to battle back and take it into next year.
Lots to be proud of for Sean Hunwick's Midwest team. They played a lot of great hockey and a lot of great kids on this team too. Elo, nice shot in the slot. Piccolo able to steer that one away. Trying to get it out. Finn's couple good chances in front. Vicario shooting. He scores. Oh boy. Ziski out of the box.
And that pass, just a beautiful saucer over to Kiwi Harju. You could see where he was looking the whole time, up over the glove of Piccolo. Nothing he could really do, and unfortunately, now that's a 10 spot up on the board, and the 4th double-digit effort from this Finnish squad in 7 games of this tournament. So they are all going to go home with inflated elite prospects pages, as now 10-2 the Finns lead.
Run time, under 7 minutes to go. As Waddick in on the attack. McGuire in there helping. Backdoor pass, they score again. This time it was Levanon. Midwest in trouble.
Yeah, why
right
not
upstairs.
just get another guy to join the party, as Latalo dropping that for Levanon. He rifles it home, and Piccolo, it's been a tough day for him.
It very much has. Hilton, he'll lose that draw.
Goal for Team Finland, scored by number 29, Eetu Levanon, assisted by number 20, Otto Itlari. Finland 11, Midwest 2.
Battle at center. Jan Varaya, he streaks in. Hands it off to Waddick. Bellinger, excuse me.
And the Finns able to break that up, and they'll come across center with it. Coming in, shooting, nice glove save. Januszkowski. He will be in there pressuring. And so coming up at 3 o'clock, the big dance, East Coast and Czech. What a game that's going to be. Two high-flying teams that seem to have all the momentum coming off wins today. And Chappelle just going to take a few punches to the head. And he will go sit for 2.
And you talk about this Czech East Coast clash later on. Two teams that do not like each other, as they will go into this with all sorts of pent-up excitement off the tail end of a heated battle just a couple days ago. Even hearing from a couple of the parents, well, we hope we meet them back in the finals, and that's exactly the way it panned out. So stay tuned if you're watching in, as that will be an exceptional hockey game coming up at the top of the hour. Is 3 o'clock local time, 9 a.m. at home in North America, as now the Finns, they will press again.
Back to the point. Back to Sheldon. He hands it off. Shooting. As the clock will strike as we just roll over the 3-minute mark. In front. And we can hear just to the right of our booth that East Coast team getting fired up for this next game. They're warming up for the finals. And so Waddick, he'll try and hustle down. He's got Ziski with him. They will fumble that. Lepa. Waddick coming in right in front. Couldn't get a final stick on it. Kusla. Waddick hustling. Trying to muscle his way in. What a move. Again, back door. What a save. Valley. Wow. Robbed Powell.
Yeah, we saw Valley a couple huge saves in that earlier game against the Czechs, and it's Haravola that's in now, and Haravola, saw him a day ago standing on his head against the Latvians, making all sorts of saves in that same fashion, and just picking up where he left off. Another goal here for the Finns as, oh, Danny boy, the pipes, they are ice cold this afternoon, and that'll be the 12th goal that'll find its way past Daniel Piccolo. And just the time will now run its way down. It's under a minute. It'll be run time.
Under a minute. Tough day for Danny Piccolo. And he will have many days in the sun to come, no doubt. 12-2. Looking like it'll be the final score, as this clock will just wind down. This Finland selects team will walk away with a bronze medal for their efforts. And that will do it. We'll have the medal ceremony play out here, as well as MVPs. As up here in the booth, Rob Fleming and myself will get ready for the big final, which is going to be beyond exciting. So we will let this one play out. MVPs and bronze medals to be handed out around the Finnish necks. And good effort from them. They were very close to punching their ticket to this final as well. So we will turn it down to ice level and watch this one play out.